Okay, hello guys.
Hi.
Today we have a very special guest joining us from Living with Neville, as many of you may have already known. Welcome, Koti.
Hey, that's probably me you are talking about. So, hey.
Yeah, we are so excited to have you here. Thank you for joining us. And before we go into our topic, do you want to shortly introduce yourself and what you are doing and and how you found Neville?
Oh, that's a very long, not really long story. No, sorry, I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
Maybe specifically about like how you went from your spirituality, just really briefly, because I know I really resonated with your journey when you
Uh-huh.
went from all this new age spiritual um, tools and giving power outside of you to finding Neville and realizing, that you are God and you are the conscious creator of it all.
Uh-huh. So, there's no special event and I wasn't led to it like naturally. So yeah, since everything is our manifestation, it can be so. But it wasn't like something changed in me. It was more like, I was doing what I was doing. I was into like witchcraft and like tarot reading and a lot into like Hellinger family constellations. What right now, and I devoted, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years of my life to that philosophy. I even don't know how many how many times I participated in those constellations. Probably like between 15 and 20, something like that. So really a lot, and it was leading me to basically nowhere. And then yeah, on some point I just had like suicidal thoughts, and there was this question that okay, I can like keep going to where I'm going, or I'm going to risk that what I used to believe in is just a huge crap.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then somehow, I found Neville and I tested it and it started working. And I experienced that everything I used to believe in, it was just like time wasting hobby.
I really understand this. And like when I found Neville and these teachings, I was like so mind blown, and my whole perspective on life and the world and everything shifted. And I was like, oh my God, you kind of have to unlearn everything you've learned so far, all this programming. Yeah, like just a whole new world kind of opened up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Ariel, how was it for you?
Yeah, for me too. For the longest time, I've always associated God and all that is source as something outside of me, especially the universe as this external thing that has power over me and, have to deliver to me my manifestations. And then when I find out, I was like, oh, okay, that solves it all. Like that answers all my questions. Like I'm God, I created. So absolutely, yeah, we really resonate with your journey, Koti.
I just wanted to say that I know that there are like so many people like me out there who maybe are not still in this like phase, like who noticed that, okay, so what I'm doing, it's not working, right? Because especially when I used to believe in things like, yeah, like my favorite, like healing family karma, right? So yeah, I was suffering and my life was crap. I didn't really have money and like good relationships and da. That was all, like not so nice. But in the same time, I believed, I had this assumption that yeah, there's like this, like higher good that it's all about and it has to be so. And I like right now I don't even like understand what I used to believe in. But yeah, I know that there are people out there who are in the same phase. They are doing something because they think they have to do it. They just don't know that like different path is similar. Because for me, maybe it's similar for both of you. I don't know. Like you will tell me in a moment. So I was like raised in a Catholic family in the Catholic society. So it was like a Christianity, right? It's like traditional Christianity. And there was this like new age crap. And yeah, I just thought that, it's like or that or that. Maybe I knew that they are also like different religions. So I knew that they are like, yeah, constitutional religions and like new age. And I had no idea that it's not like that if someone told me that okay there's this like karma and like numerology and like synchronicities that it's like not necessarily true, like no one said it to me. So what am I doing right now is studying like people, like the real spirituality is, I'm sorry, but it's boring.
Yeah, and like it's really about asking yourself, okay, what is really true? And from whom is this coming from? Like all these teachings in
Mhm.
several religions. And like, yeah, you just start to question things and not just take it on like everything you get like in the face. Like you just start to really question it. Okay, where is this coming from? And is this something I want to believe in? Or like now knowing that I am the creator of my reality, do I just want to create my own worlds? And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, and I really resonate with that. For me, like I grew up non-religious, non-spiritual at all, and then I had a deeper spiritual awakening, which, was introduced to me with law of attraction when it first happened. And then I got into this whole like similar like Koti, like kind of like new age spirituality tools. And there's this like constant talk about having to fix yourself, having to heal yourself, like using
Mm-hmm.
all these tools, modalities to get somewhere, but you already are that. You're never not, the God of your reality. And it's just taking your power away. And in the spiritual realms, it's just so much more subtle, where these like
Mm-hmm.
power taking, power giving dynamics are at play. But yeah, like with Neville, just really came home to who we truly are. Yeah.
Yeah, for me too. I mean, for me, this whole journey started also with the law of attraction, and I also grew up non-religious. And yeah, it was like, okay, I can only have my perfect life and everything I want once I heal my inner child and once I overcome my mental health struggles and all this stuff, like as if you are forced to fix yourself and looking for problems, but now knowing that there are no problems. But yeah, when you are in a state, speaking of states, when you are in a state of, okay, I need to fix something, then you just get more proof of, okay, there is something you need to fix first. And yeah, like this is, and when you are not aware of this, you are just in a hamster wheel and you just get down the rabbit hole. And yeah, like this is yeah, how things got for me. Like I didn't came far with the law of attraction, especially since yeah, like you just feel that there was an separate universe outside of you, or that there was something outside of you which delivers you your desires. But now coming to Neville's teachings and everything with the law of assumption. Okay, I deliver my shit to myself, and there was nothing I need to fix. I am already perfect, and I am already enough, and I am already worthy. So I don't need to earn something. I like my desires come from me, and therefore they are already here. It is just like my, let's call it job, is just to claim it and to accept it, and not making a job out of it, and not make like overcomplicating it. Yeah, like this was my journey, to, if I would sum it up, so to say.
I just wanted to like quote Neville very quickly, but it's absolutely like not necessary actually, because we can just like observe it in our lives. But it's this part that like, yeah, life, reality is always proving to us what we believe. So yeah, that's that's why people are so sure about what they know. They know it's true because they see the world is confirming it. But in the same time, there will be this question: is that really true? Yeah. Then something different will be true. And there's also this trap, and I know people like stuck in this trap also, like always questioning everything, right? And yeah, there's like nothing is true, and we don't want to be in this trap. So just like very quickly, maybe to like sum up what like this whole thing is for me, it's about practice, and it's about my life. It's just practical tool to shape my life the way I want. It's not just a philosophy to have fun with, because then there are just like more questions and more questions and more questions, and our life is not reflecting it. So for me, it's very practical. Okay, so I want that. Let's give it to myself. And yeah, then that's my only job. And then, yeah, that's what life is about.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And so, especially in this realm, like even when people come to Neville, so many people are still caught in the whole idea of needing to do specific techniques and even having to do them perfectly in order to manifest. So we would love your thoughts, yeah, and straight up opinion on that.
Yeah, because I keep noticing it. And like, I know that you both probably also, you see it that, okay, Neville used the word feeling, but he understands it in like very specific way. And people are like, so, okay, so feeling is that. And they're like, the biggest mistake people are doing. And it's like so easy to do it. And I was doing it also on my beginning. So, or at my beginning, all right, that to confuse feeling with emotions. And I was asked today, okay, Koti, can you help me? Because in my like imaginary sessions, I can't get excited. And I'm like, "Oh, like, but you shouldn't." But people don't know it, because yeah, life of assumption, like Neville's life of assumption, Neville's approach to all of that is so different than this classical love of attraction we all know. And there's like Abraham's love of attraction. People don't even see that those are all different teachings. And Dispenza is also different. And Bashar is also different. And people are like mixing it. And it's all of the same. Sorry, no, the principles are very, very, very different.
Yeah, we found that too. A lot of people even misinterpret the crux of Neville's teachings, right? And they kind of
Mm-hmm.
distort it and kind of add in these other elements, and even confuse misinterpret what Neville was really trying to say as well. Like you said, going back to the feeling, which is the inner dominant state, which
Mm-hmm.
carries all these emotions, right? So you don't need to be high vibe or constantly, just there's no, and it's just ultimately just this inner knowing that it's done, it's yours. That is a
Yeah.
key feeling. It is just how it is. I have it. It's just, I don't need to do imaginal scenes. I don't need to affirm. Like, I just know it's mine. It's just that landed
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
So it's like maybe here's also the thing, because I also know, I also met someone who used to think that okay, the state is this like special thing invented by Neville Goddard that you have to get into in order to manifest what you want. But that's not true. The state is like easily who you are, and you can have a state like okay, like broke, fat, and lonely, right? That can be a state. I like, yeah, I had my romance with this state also. And yes, state is just who I am and what is true for me. So if I'm healthy, then I'm healthy. And the fact that, okay, right now my stomach is in pain or I have a cold or even this fucking COVID, that doesn't change my permanent state that is like I am healthy.
Yes. So much gold there. Nia, did you want to jump in?
I just want to add something that, yeah, like when especially more young people come across Neville's teachings, they just use it in order to get out of a situation. But here's the thing, like it's not something you do in order to get a quick fix. It's actually a lifestyle. Now, speaking of this whole
Mhm.
thing of a manifestation lifestyle. So, what are your thoughts on this, Cody and Ariel as well? You both of you guys can add your opinion. So, yeah, how about that? And Cody, how was your experience so far with your clients to like coming from using Neville's teachings or like this whole love assumption as a quick fix versus knowing, okay, this is a lifestyle, this is a way of living and not something I just do here and then.
Mhm. Okay, so if you already introduced me, I will do like a commercial here, right? So like sometimes people are like asking me how dare I take money for like teaching the law, but I'm teaching the law for free. What I'm doing with my clients, what I'm doing with my coaching clients is doing a training, the very practical training to help them to shift from living the life where things are given to them to the life where they are choosing and creating from themselves. Because yeah, it's not that we have to make love of assumption our lifestyle or make manifesting our lifestyle. It's just happening. It's this shift between okay, things are so and they are given to me and they are like that. And okay, so what do I want to do with that? Okay, so like how should I react to that? What is? Yeah, that shift to living by Neville is like, okay, so what do I want here? Who do I want to be here? What do I want to have? Is them reacting from is the shift from reacting what to what is to reacting to what I want to have.
Yeah, so good. And Ariel, how is this whole thing for you? Do you want
Yeah.
to touch on this?
Yeah, I love what Cody said. Like, it's like really being so aware in your moment to moment living and recognizing, like, practically what's showing up in your life, but also choosing to respond as the first principle in your ideal, right? Rather than reacting to it. And yeah, for me too, it's just this consistent commitment and practice of like lucid awareness as you move throughout your day and shifting, like we're constantly shifting, right? Shifting states But also being
Mm-hmm.
aware of where you are reacting versus where you are consciously choosing, because we have access to all our desires right now and our states right now. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to be this difficult thing, or like Koti said earlier, like the super excitement, because when you actually have the desire, it feels natural. It feels it's just how it is. Like, it's just this truth, this naturalness, which Neville talks about too. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're not even expecting to feel super elated some kind of way. We're out of your normal, as you step into your ideal state. And it's a constant daily practice. I think, like Cody says, it's just this commitment to who you are, like the first principle, and from there, like choosing your reality as you move throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. I can give a personal example here that I actually like love giving, that I stopped making any decisions. I'm not making any decisions. I'm not making any decisions. I'm just choosing that, okay, I want to be happy with what will be. So, like this autumn, I was visiting my parents in Poland, so in another country that I live in. And it was like, yeah, it's like second lockdown was coming. And I was like, okay, so looks like I have to be stuck in Poland or stuck in Germany. Where do I want to be stuck? And I decided, okay, like I'm not deciding. I'm just, yeah, I will be just feeling that, okay, I'm home and I am where I want to be. And then my accountant called me that, okay, like you're needed in Berlin. So yeah, the decision was made for me, right? It looks like, but okay, that was me who assumed like what do I want? And there are like so many like more examples. And to practice it, we can practice with food, right? To not just like not think, overthink. So what am I going to eat? But just assume, yeah, like the dinner was delicious and things like that, that are like that's the way to start practicing it. And like on some point it just gets natural. We don't have to choose it anymore because it's automatic. It's just, yeah, the way how we live in, it's natural for us. And it's just hard to, like right now, I know that I used to live very different life when I was just like when I was a witch, and I was like I looked very different. I like used my makeup differently. I had different clothes, jewelry, like everything was so different. Like the colors I liked were different. The music I listened to like were different. And right now I know that all of those change, and it's shocking because like right now so different things are natural for me, are just like who I am. And here I know, I don't know if like there's like perfect time, like, yeah, it looks like it's like perfect time to make an introduction about this, because this, how to say it, standard spirituality is a lot about is a lot is a lot about discover who you are. And I was discovering who I was for a lot of time. But that was like right now, I know that it was like limiting and limiting and limiting. To like give a practical example here again. So for all my life, I hated tomatoes. I just hated tomatoes. If there was like tomato inside of something, there was like no option that I will just take this tomato out of the sandwich and eat it, because for me it already tasted like tomato, like disgusting thing, right? Like no tomatoes, the devil's thing. So it wasn't nice. I was like feeling stupid. and ashamed. Like every time in the restaurant, I was asking, "Are they tomatoes inside? Like, please don't add them for me." And so on and so on and so on. It's like that wasn't nice. And then there was like concept, okay, just like honor who you are, like feel okay, let's feel good. I'm fat, okay, I'm poor, okay, I don't like tomatoes, okay, let's like that's who I am. Wow, like yeah, I'm so different, right? I don't like tomatoes. You are people, you stupid people like tomatoes. I'm not. Like I'm so like different, right? And when I really started having fun with Neville Goddard, and that's like close to my first anniversary, because last year, this time, I decided, okay, but can I use those teachings to just like start eating tomatoes? And I was just like, imagining, I started, I did this for a couple of days. I imagined that I'm in like one of these like a fast food imbies, and I'm ordering like my sandwich, and I'm taking that, okay, all of the, I'm not, instead of saying that, no, please without tomatoes, I'm thinking like, okay, like all of the veggies, like, and I see it and like putting those tomatoes there, and then I am eating it. And yeah, right now I eat tomatoes. Maybe there aren't like my favorite veggies, but I just don't care. I can eat them. But it wasn't possible for me for 30 years. When I was like 20 something and I started my studies, I was like really ashamed for like not it is stupid right now for not eating tomatoes, and I was trying to force myself to eat them and to learn myself this way to eat them. I got a trauma. And then just a week of imagining that I'm going to, yeah, that just a week of imagining that, okay, I'm someone who eats tomatoes, like make me someone who eats tomatoes. And you know, if anyone needs like more proof that this is working, just like try it for yourself.
Yeah, and you can use it for everything, even for fun. Like sometimes I'm really into, okay, I really want to prove myself my power, even though there was no need to prove something. But I really like to use this as a game. I mean, it is just a game, like life is just a game. And I assume people to wear certain clothes, and as I'm so detached from it, they actually often like it happens so often that they actually wear what I wanted them to wear. So yeah, this is like something that I use, like just using the law for fun. I mean, why not? And yeah.
Yeah, we love you, Koti. You are so funny, and
Thank
we
you.
just love how practical your examples are and how everyday life that everyone can relate to. Like, yeah, just putting like the experiments, the practice, the putting it to the test is everything in the littlest things. Like
Mhm.
for me, it's always free coffee or like upgraded coffee, but now it gets boring. So I'm like, I'm done with manifesting free coffee, and just now I manifest things that I want to hear people say to me. Yeah, and you sometimes they come word for word, and playing around with wearing different costumes and different characters, different states. So yeah, just having fun with yeah, rather than it having to be like a textbook rigid, like, oh, I have to do this way in order to get this. But
Mhm.
no, you get to choose, you get to even create your own rules and assumptions for everything.
Yeah, and this whole stuff here, it is really like the most reason for this is to guide you home to yourself, and this is just it's all about self-realization and self-discovery at its finest. So you go really deep and really get to know who you truly are. And
Mhm.
we often just like to say, yeah, your only job here is to be you, and unapologetically, fearlessly just being you. And only you deep down know what you truly want. And therefore, just for the
Mhm.
reason that you know that it is yours and this is your path. And so it really comes down to trusting yourself. And I used to be such a control freak. I was like, okay, I need to structure my day. I need to plan this and this and this. And I need to study for this exam in this way. And I need to do this for my business in this way. But nowadays, I'm like so relaxed, and I'm like, no, even like what you said, I don't need to make a decision. I just leave it to my higher self, my beingness, or my God, like
Mhm.
whatsoever. And yeah, knowing that it's done, and that like the right decision is just made automatically. And yeah, even though sometimes I get not really triggered because other people are just reflections of me. They reflect back old stuff, like, okay, they're like, recently I had a chat with some classmates who were like, okay, I need to do so much. And I was like, okay, now I have the choice. Do I get back to this needing to do, or am I like, okay, no, I'm done with this. I trust myself that everything is perfect and I can relax. And especially when I have the strong urge to do something, like, oh my God, I need to do this, then I'm like, okay, nope, this is the perfect time to slow down, to go within, and to relax, and until I'm really relaxed and easy. And then I know, okay, from this point, just letting it flow, and to, yeah, trust myself again, to just surrender, like, yeah, surrender to the state,
Mhm.
surrender to who you truly are. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just and also just surrendering to your true end, right? Not get caught in the middle. Because I mean, yes, you can manifest the hell, but that's pretty exhausting to me. And that's why people get into mental diets, trying to control affirmations like SATs. I have to do it perfectly because I'm trying to control the how. But yeah, it's like what both of you share. When you assume your true end, you don't need to make the decisions. It just happens, and manifestation just happen effortlessly to you, and you get your true desire. So yeah, don't get caught in the
Mhm.
middle.
So I have this rule that I can show you how I figured out. So on the very beginning of this year, that's a shameful because I was already into Neville, but still I did this totally contrary to Neville thing. Was I planned a challenge for like first half of this year, and I wanted to do just like no spend 6 months. So I made a list like what am I like allowed to buy and like what not. And just 2 weeks after I started this, I saw that like angelic bracelet by Swarovski. I got obsessed. I got so obsessed about this like bracelet that I thought I'm going to die if I won't have it. And that was, I knew how stupid it is, and I couldn't like, but why? So I checked, okay, like 130 euro something. That was like, that's a lot, like Swarovski, like I don't need it. But okay, so like maybe after this like 6 months, it's like June, okay, in June I'm going to buy that for myself. And like no, nothing helped. And finally I asked myself, okay, so why do I want it so much? Like what's the desire behind that desire? And like here I got it that okay, so what I actually wanted is like 100% was it's like financial freedom and financial security and doing with my money whatever I want, and not to someone to dictate me what can I do with that, even if that like was myself. So, but that doesn't mean that my I didn't wanted my middle. Of course I wanted my middle. I have it here, and I got it like 1 week later. But yeah, that was like one of the points when everything started to change. Really hard to ask if it's like really hard for you to get into a state and stay in that state. It's probably 99%, because you are manifesting a mirror. Is that the way to give you to, or it's just like part of your wish? Because like this bracelet, that wasn't really a mirror, but that was part of my wish. And I have like more examples like that. Like lately I did like Instagram live about that. Like it's like why other people are getting what I want. And I shared the story when like a similar obsession happened to me with a chair. And there, that was, that. So yeah, like step back, step back. We can manifest like exactly everything what we think we want, and this way I manifested the flat I live in right now. I just like decided, okay, I'm going to live here. uh, I didn't make it about me. I didn't make it about my comfort. I didn't make it about being home. And that's why uh, I'm manifesting to move again. Because this land isn't what I truly wanted. That was just what I think I wanted. My logical brain said, okay, that would be okay. So I went for it, and here I am. So step back to the chair. That chair was just telling me, because it was like very specific hanging chair. I saw it everywhere. Even like my own brother like got one and started spamming with like photos and videos like with that chair. And I was like, oh my God, why? And yeah, my why is here in this flat I'm living. It's not possible to attach anything to the ceiling. So I can buy that chair for myself, but I can't use it here because I'm not able to like montage it here. So yeah, that was just like telling me, okay, so like, you need to go home. Like, let's manifest home for you. And like, of course, my home will be the place when I will have like all of the furnitures I will enjoy.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. Like that, those two examples, because exactly, like so many of us are still caught in the mind when we try to figure out, quote unquote,
Mhm.
our true end rather than feeling into like, what is the true feeling that I want? What is the underlying experience that I want from my actual desires, right? Rather than the thing
Mm.
that the mind says, but it's like, how do you want to feel? Right. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, and something I
Yeah.
wanted to add is just yeah, like I see this a lot when people try to manifest relationship or just money or a job
Mhm.
or something. Don't make it about the job, don't make it about the money, don't make it about the relationship, make it about you.
Specific person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You are your specific person. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it. Like this is so important to remember.
Yes. So, do we want to move into love, like just as our last?
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
Cody. So,
Yeah.
how is your experience with the law and love and just relationship? And yeah, and how did the relationship to yourself changed, or just this whole knowing, okay, I am the creator of my reality, I am the god of my reality. So how did really the relationship with yourself changed?
I understood that I doesn't really exist, or in different words, that I'm just a state that is very temporary. Like this name Koti is the short name of like the Polish name Katarzyna, and it went like that. That when I was like really little, like up to like 5 years old, we had like my family had this neighbor who loved to call me Koti, because the most common short form is Kasia. But there was this neighbor like calling me Koti, Koti, Koti. And I hated it so much. I hated it so much, like really. And like right now, I'm just like, that's the main form of my name that I'm using. The color I like changed. Yeah, the flavors I like changed. I started eating tomatoes and like so different. I went from like being vegan to eating meat again. My clothes changed so much. Right now you can see it, but I hope like people won't see it. Right now I'm manifesting a curly hair for me because my hair was like super straight and super thick and super not cooperating my whole life before. They were just, I could like curl it, but they were like straight again after just 2 hours. And yeah, some time ago I decided, okay, I would like to have like wavy, slightly curly hair, and my hair started to curl like naturally. And it's so it's just shocking. So I know that I am right. I know that I'm here and I have some memories from like being someone else, and I can tell you like my life and just like facts from my life, right? And I still have the same ID, but in the same time, I'm a different person. I'm a different being. I experience the life very differently. And in the same time, I'm fully aware that I won't stay this person forever, that I will be like still changing. And probably in 10 years, maybe even in just like 1 year, maybe I will listen to that podcast and I would be like, oh, fuck, like who that stupid girl was. Yeah, maybe, not maybe, like for sure, it will be like that. So I know that I I'm just as a state, as a just like me as a specific person, I'm just very temporary being. But in the same time, I know that there is something deeper, something more, something that I maybe don't fully have access to it. No, that's not true. I have the full access, but this one being that like keeps choosing those states, right? Because like someone chose to go from like boho gypsy tarot reader to like funny Neville Goddard coach. Someone did it, and in the same time, yeah, I just know I experienced it so many times that we are all the one, right? It's like now you shared that, okay, so we are playing that someone is going to show up in a specific outfit, and those people are wearing the specific outfit, but like they will say that they decided it for themselves. So did you influence them, or maybe they influenced you for you to think that it was like your assumption, or it's just like one being? And I think is the last option, that it's just one being. If I choose that, okay, I will be interviewed for a podcast, or I will be part of a podcast, there is someone who's like inviting me uh, to be a part of a podcast. And yeah,
And so we did.
so
Yeah.
you did.
We 100% agree, and that's why we brought you on, because yeah, we really agree to the same principles, because we know that's what works. It is the one beingness, one God, one, yeah, just the one being, imagining it all. And like Neville says, this whole idea of dreaming in concert as well. Just yeah, we have this, individual flesh, but ultimately who we are this one source that's connected.
Yeah, we are all made of the same substance. So therefore, there was no separation. There was no outside of you, because everything you see is something you are aware of. So there can never be something outside of your awareness. And yeah, it's just about stopping to identifying yourself only as a little human being, but more as this huge, infinite energy field. Like, this is who we truly are. Like, we are all made of this. Everything is energy. And there was even science behind it if you want to check it out. So you can just check out Einstein's theory on this, like this whole quantum physics, like it's really based on that everything is energy. And so is like this is also connected to these spiritual teachings. And for me, spirituality itself is a huge science, so to say.
Yeah, consciousness created science, So, yeah. And yeah, I think we had quite a bit of juice in this already. And yeah, Koti, just thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us your wisdom and your brilliance and your very practical examples that I know will help so many get unstuck in this trying to manifest and get it right and perfect. Yeah, so tell us where we can find you for our listeners and how they can work with you and any of your programs.
Okay, first of all, I'm just laughing because, yeah, let's talk about spirituality and like love and like consciousness. And here am I, like all in white, right? Like telling, okay, like how to manifest that you eat tomatoes if you don't like them, or like manifesting a chair. But like, yeah, I am very practical because like for me, it's about practice. I wasted like enough from my life already for a theory and for this like higher spirituality that
Yeah, we all been here.
yeah
Yeah.
The
let's
universe.
not even comment that. So like where to find me, it's very easy. People just like use your Google and like type there like Living with Neville, because you can find me on Facebook and the page is called Living with Neville. First of all, I have the blog, is like livingwithneville.com, and I have a podcast. You can find it like pretty much everywhere as far as I know, like on like every podcast platform. It's just like living, it's called surprisingly Living with Neville. And I'm also like really active on Instagram. It's called Living with Neville, and there's also like Facebook group Living with Neville Goddard. Here's the difference. And so yeah.
Yeah, but don't worry, guys. You don't need to memorize all of this. We will just put the link in the descriptions as well as our links. And yeah, so you can say hi to all of us, like on our Instagram, Manifest with Beingness. And don't forget to say hi to Koti on Living with Neville. So thank you so much for this amazing tea time. And yeah, this was really funny. And yeah, so, and I assume this isn't the last podcast we're gonna have with you. Or
Me
maybe we
neither.
jump on your
Okay.
podcast as well. So yeah, let's see what our beingness, our infinity has in store for us.
Okay, thank you. I'm like truly like honored here that you're honoring my wisdom. I don't think I'm so like wise, but
You are. We all share the
okay.
one infinite intelligence, so we all are genius.
Oh yeah.
Okay. See you in no,
Thank you.
hear you in the next episode.